Michigan Out of Doors Online is brought to you in part by Tri-County Logging. Experienced in sustainable forestry practices, Tri-County Logging can help you manage your property by keeping your woods healthy and generate income. Serving southern and mid-Michigan for nearly 50 years, TriCountyLogging.com.
Hi everyone, welcome to Michigan Out of Doors. I'm Jenny Olson-Silik, and we've got an exciting show lined up for you this week. I'll take you to Bad Axe, where we check out an event geared towards getting ladies out on the shooting range to try out handguns for the very first time. It's a pretty neat event, you won't want to miss that, and we're going to hit the water this week.
Well, that's right, Jenny. We do have a couple more things on this week's show. Our own Jordan Brown is going to take us to Torch Lake. That's a very popular lake here in the summertime in Michigan. Do a little fishing from a pontoon, and we're also going to have a really good fish recipe for you as well. Lots of good stuff on this week's show. You stay tuned. I'm Jimmy Gretzinger. It's time for Michigan Out of Doors.
From the first spring rains to the soft summer breeze, dancing on the pine forest floor, the autumn colors catch your eyes. Here come the crystal winter skies. It's Michigan, Michigan Out of Doors.
What a beautiful day in the woods.
Someday our children all will see this is their finest legacy, the wonder and the love of Michigan. As the wind comes whispering through the trees, the sweet smell of nature's in the air. From the Great Lakes to the quiet stream, shining like a sportsman's dream, it's a love of Michigan we all share.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by Country Smokehouse, a sportsman's meat processor and Michigan destination since 1988. Offers a variety of homemade smoked meats and Michigan-made products in-store and online. The Country Smokehouse features an outdoor barbecue and bar. Details at countrysmokehouse.com. Michigan's hunters and anglers are essential partners to the health of the state's wildlife and habitats. The Michigan Wildlife Council is dedicated to ensuring our hunting and fishing heritage and Michigan's natural resources are preserved for future generations. By Green Mark Equipment. Green Mark Equipment is a John Deere dealership network in southwest Michigan and northern Indiana. Green Mark provides sales and services to farmers, commercial businesses, large property owners, and homeowners. Information about pricing and products available can be found online at greenmarkequipment.com.
This week's show, I was in northern Michigan on Torch Lake. The goal today was to try and find a few lake trout in the deep water and possibly bump into a steelhead or a brown trout along the way.
Well, today we're going to go out on Torch Lake. We're going to target some lake trout to start. Anywhere from like 213 to 250 foot of water, 180 to 220 feet down. And in the meantime, when we're doing that, we're going to stick some stuff out for some steelhead or browns or even a few Atlantics that are left in here. We're going to try to put some stuff out for them to see if we can get them to go. Fishing's been really good all summer. Weather does play a role in the way that fish bite. Seems like all the days that we've had that have been a little off, the weather has been off as well.
Cool thing is there's a lot of
One there. It's not every day the captain gets to reel one in, Jordan.
Your turn, Jim.
Yeah.
It didn't take us long to find our first fish, and Jim was happy to grab the rod as he spends most of his time guiding other anglers. Although Torch Lake is known for its recreational boating, it's home to a very diverse fishery, and the scenery is pretty tough to beat.
Usually we're on the bay or on Lake Michigan getting kings and cohos, and I wanted to take the opportunity to come fish with Jim here and up in the northern country and torch and elk, and it's just a really unique fishery. really intriguing, pretty cool. He runs an Angler Qwest that runs this neck of the woods, and I wanted to get up here and check it out. So I'm excited to see what we can put in the boat. Nice. That's pretty cool. Nice Torch Lake of Laker. It's like your hot spoon, Jim.
Yeah, that thing's been incredible.
That one wasn't getting off, I'll tell you that.
You know, Silver Streak came up with an antifreeze color a number of years ago, and that thing has been really good for us in the deep water. The other lures that we're putting out, most of them are just random colors. A lot of steelhead colors, a lot of orange. Some of them have painted backs on them, pink or the white. But it just kind of depends on the day, what they take. So we put a whole bunch of stuff out and just spread the water count. It's the easiest way to do it.
Got one on, wire dipsy. Got a lot of head shakes happening. Feels like another Laker. Torch Lake, awesome. Tough to beat the scenery on this location. Beautiful out here.
Mostly right now it's a lake trout fishery, at least for our deep water programming that we like to fish. We did have an Atlantic fishery when I first moved here. I think that was in 14. It was really good. We caught lots of fish, and we've seen that steadily decline over the years, but our lake trout fishery here is phenomenal. We fish a lot deeper here than most places. A lot of 200 to 260 and a lot of deep stuff, so it does take a little bit to get down to these fish. Very rarely are they in shallow water whatsoever. They seem to just be out in this deep water roaming. They're a lot different as far as the fillets. Most of them have the coloration of like a walleye. So there's no orange meat to them. Attribute a lot of that to the diet. We find a lot of sculpins in them. We'll find lots and lots of bugs. These things eat bugs like crazy. And then you'll also find quite a few ciscos in them, the juvenile cisco. So, that's one of the reasons why we use a lot of the smaller spoons. We just match the hatch with them. It's not your traditional salmon size spoons that we're running with these things.
Nice Torch Lake Laker.
It's the same color, but in a junior.
Oh yeah.
That thing has been really good for us out here this year. It's got that antifreeze back that we talked about earlier. I don't know, blue and pink. Kind of hard to beat those, huh?
Yeah. Nice fish. Well, we're picking away at them here. We've probably got half a dozen or so. It's been kind of very consistent. Downriggers have been the program. Chipping away at them here. I think once we get another Laker or two in the boat, we're gonna yank or at least evolve our spread and try for some silverfish, some browns, steelhead. Jim has a couple ideas that we're gonna try to execute and hopefully get some little different species on the boat. So far so good.
Most of the trolling stuff right now is going to be lake trout, but there are some brown trout, like on a day like today where we do have a little bit of wind activity from the south like this. It will make some rip currents on some of the points, and I think we're going to go try that after we get a couple more Lakers in here. We're going to go see if we can't get into a couple browns or steelhead or whatever. There could be, out in the deeper water too, which is why we have our boards out. You can get into some steelhead here too. So it's a limited fishery, but it does happen.
After catching about a dozen lake trout, we decided to move a little closer to shore in hopes of finding a brown trout or a steelhead. As we made our way along, I asked Jim why he decided to switch to a pontoon for this style of fishing over a more traditional boat.
I ended up getting this Angler Qwest boat last June, and was a lot of the wife's influence. She mentioned that she needed a pontoon boat for our family, and I kind of kicked back and decided I didn't want to maintain 2 boats. So the Angler Qwest came out 4 or 5 years ago. I've been looking at it. But the big thing was, and the thing that really impressed me about it, was when we were in the fall of the year and we'd see people pulling their boats while we were salmon fishing. And a lot of times it gets a little rougher that time of year, 2-3 foot in the bay there. And we were watching these tri-tunes just blow by us like we were standing still when we were trying to come back in. Guys weren't taking spray, nothing. So, you know, I couldn't believe it. I drove the thing myself out in some rougher water, and it's just an amazing, amazing boat for what we deal with up here in this part of the state.
I think it's so cool to be able to come into an inland body of water and catch these fish. Just the beauty, something different. We virtually have this area to ourselves, so that's unique in its own right. How often do you do that where great fishing's going on and no one's around?
Although we never did catch up with any of the other species we were looking for, it was still a great morning on the water with a limit of lake trout. Special thanks to Brad and Jim for letting me tag along on a beautiful day here in northern Michigan.
Seeing ladies taking part in the shooting and hunting sports is becoming more and more common every year. While there are still quite a few women that have never shot a gun, particularly a handgun, we head up to Bad Axe to change that.
The last Wednesday of every month, Thumb Sportsman's Club here in Bad Axe is host to an exciting event that's growing in popularity. Together with the club and friends of the NRA, Randy's Hunting Center here in town is a big part of this educational event.
All right, tonight we are having our monthly Ladies' Night at the Range. We're offering the opportunity for women to go out, learn how to shoot handguns, first-time users, experienced users. We bring out 25, 30 different handguns, free ammunition that we're supplying to be able to grow these shooting sports is what we're trying to do. So what we do, once we get out there, everything is one-on-one. We do have a ton of volunteers. Our local sportsman's club, Thumb Sportsman's Club, does a great job having guys out there to help and assist with the program. We will have an introductory setup from Randy. He'll go over some of the different basics of the handguns, how they operate, some of the controls on the guns, what to do, what not to do, and it'll be a good segue into starting out. We'll have a safety briefing with everything as well before we get going. Then everything is hands-on, one-on-one. You get to work with an instructor. They will take you up there to the line of fire. We'll show you how to load the magazines. We will walk you up to the range, show you how to load the gun, proper stance, what you're doing, sight alignment, and then you get to sit there and actually do some live fire training. I don't know any place else that you're able to go out and try out the different guns before you get the opportunity to buy them. This is our 3rd year that we're doing Ladies' Night at the Range. We generally do it throughout the summer months. It's an outdoor range, so we have to wait for nicer weather to go out and do it. But we've been doing it April through September each of the last 2 years. This is our 3rd year. It's a free event. Anybody's welcome to come. It doesn't matter your skill level. If you're a first-time shooter, we get a lot of those coming out here, especially nowadays. Everybody's kind of unsure with the socioeconomic climate that's going on. We're seeing just a ton of new shooters.
It was a little bit scary because I've never done it. But
Pretty fun?
yeah.
Cool. And Mom, what were you saying?
That she went hunting last year and she got her first buck. She got a 6-point and she out-hunted her dad and myself. So we thought we'd try this.
Our lineup is going to be smaller caliber stuff to bigger as you work your way on down. So we're going to have 22s to start with and work our way up to 38s, 380s, 9mm. We're even going to get into some little bit bigger stuff. We have some of the ladies out there that love to shoot 40s and 45s, so we like to bring some of that for them too. Ultimately, we want people to have fun. We want to teach them safely how to handle all this stuff, but fun is the main goal here.
This is my first time I've ever shot a handgun.
How'd it go?
It was awesome. The first time it was weird holding it, but then I did it again and I hit it every single time. I bought it and I wanted to shoot it before, just because I had never used a gun before. So we saw the flyer, so that it says ladies' night. It was free. You can't beat that. So then I ended up coming here, and it's awesome. It's awesome. I love it.
That seemed to be the sentiment of all the ladies here today. They were having a great time and learning a lot. Kevin says that's their goal.
We want to do a ladies' night program. That's actually one of the fastest growing demographics of the firearms industries. We are seeing a ton of new shooters in the last couple of years, especially right now with everything going on. A large portion of that, over 40% of that, is actually women. Which is kind of unheard of. It used to be that women were under 10% of the shooters out there. And this is, a good way, a non-stressful way for them to get into it. A lot of the times they are not comfortable going out with family members because there is that family stress and drama that they will associate with the shooting, whether it's with their boyfriend or with their husband or with their parents. This is a good introductory way to get them into it, as opposed to maybe a family member taking them out, giving them a gun that's too big for them, and then they're just turned off completely.
What do you think?
I liked it. The first time I shot, I got 7 out of 10.
Wow.
So I thought that was pretty good. For never shooting, except for in Girl Scouts, I shot a BB gun.
That's awesome. What do you think about it being just ladies that are shooting? Does that appeal to you a little bit more? Does it make you more comfortable?
Yes, it does. Just to have other women around me that are doing it, and then I can talk to people. And I recognized a few of the people around here.
So you just got done shooting, Christy. Was that your first time?
Second.
And what did you think?
I loved it. Feel very comfortable here, very safe. And it's a blast. It really is. I've never thought I would ever shoot a gun in my life. Really? And I'm having a blast.
Awesome.
We have had some women will come to every event that we do. Some of them will come to one and have a little bit of fun and decide that that might not be for them, and that's fine too. We have seen quite a bit of progression. We'll see some of them will get to the point where they are so well versed in the guns that they'll grab one, load it up, no problem. We'll go up to the line and they will hit steel plate after steel plate and just knock them all down and look like a professional. We've had some women that, we had one lady that started out, she was deathly afraid of guns. And we took our time and we said, okay, well, let's work you up to that. She started crying before she even touched a gun. And we just slowly worked our way up. And she came every month for 4 or 5 months straight and was just trying to get acquainted. She lived alone, wanted to be able to protect herself. And by the end of it, she was a professional. I mean, she could grab it, knew where the controls were on everything. We see a ton of new gun buyers come in here and they are just uncomfortable. They don't know what they like. They don't know what they want. That's kind of why we started it, because we want to make sure that you're comfortable with a gun before you purchase it. And if it's $300 or $500 or $800, that's a big investment. We want to make sure that you're happy with it.
My name is Ashley Joyner. I am from Ann Arbor, Michigan.
And what are you doing here?
So my dad's girlfriend suggested I come up and say hi and do target practice. We've been doing target practice every Christmas for fun as a family, so that's been pretty cool.
Awesome. So what do you think of this whole thing?
You know what? I really like this. I like seeing a lot of women come out here and be able to shoot. Gives me some kind of reassurance that there are women who know how to shoot in the world. So it's refreshing. It's refreshing to see.
Well, this is pretty cool to get women that, are not exceptionally well traversed with guns, and to get them out here to shoot. It's awesome. It's cool.
Have you been here before?
Yeah, we came last month.
All right, what do you think of this?
I love it. I think it's so much fun.
Yeah.
Learn so much, different guns, different atmosphere.
Have you shot a gun before today?
No.
What did you think of it?
Crazy. Kind of scary.
Yeah?
It is for me.
Okay, so do you think you'll get more comfortable as you shoot?
Oh yeah, definitely. The more I come, yes. Okay. Definitely.
How did you hear about it?
The news, Facebook, of course. Everybody knows everything on Facebook. I think I was kind of nervous. Very nervous.
But it's fun, right?
Yes, very much. I'll be back.
I'm from Bad Axe.
Okay, have you done this before?
I did. I attended last month's session. That was my first time.
Okay, what do you think of it?
I really like it. I actually bought a gun today at Randy's, so I needed to come and shoot it. And it was a little nerve-wracking at first, but I hit the target. I came for protection. Today's world's changing, and I just felt I needed to have a little extra protection. You never know.
The next Ladies' Night at the Range will happen the last Wednesday in August here in Bad Axe. With a growing number of first-time handgun owners here in Michigan and across the country, programs like this are a perfect way to teach ladies the basics of safety and shooting right here in Michigan's Out of Doors.
All right, well, we are here once again, Antlers Fireside Grill, Jim Wood, Canadian Lakes, kind of right smack dab in the middle of the state, and we are here today with some more walleye, Jim, and I see some paper. What in the world we got going on here?
Yeah, so this is called walleye empiat, or fish empiat, which just translates to fish baked in paper.
Okay.
So it's essentially steamed, keeps all the moisture inside. You create everything you put on it creates a sauce, and it's a one-plate meal because all the vegetables and everything are right in it.
And what kind of paper are we using here?
This is just parchment paper, baking paper. You can get it at the supermarket.
Okay.
Pretty easy to find.
All right, well, start us off. How do we do this?
So first we have to kind of cut.
What kind of shape are you trying to find here?
Almost a heart shape.
Okay.
Because I haven't seen you in a long time.
And now we are using walleye, like we mentioned, but could you use lake trout or salmon or whitefish or anything?
You could use any fish you want, literally, yeah. As thick or as thin. So mine didn't really come out like a heart, but it's close enough.
It's more of an oval.
So we'll start with our vegetables, and it's all done on one side.
So if you were doing, this is like a one serving kind of a thing, or this would be for two people, or?
I mean, depending on how big your part, I mean, you could do it for whatever you want. This would technically be for one person.
So you need multiple of these if you okay.
Yep. So you want to layer the flavor, so you're going to salt each layer of vegetables that you put on here. So after that, we'll put a little bit of zucchini or squash.
I guess you could put about whatever you wanted in here.
That is the beauty of it. Whatever kind of vegetables are in season, whatever kind of vegetables you like. And then sweet corn.
And is that already cooked?
Nope, this is raw.
Raw, okay.
Yep. Okay, and then I always like to put some fresh herbs in it just to kind of give it some flavor. Here we're going to do some basil, because basil goes really good. Goes good with all the vegetables, but especially the corn and the tomatoes.
And we're going to cook this on the grill or a smoker, either one?
So you could cook it on a pellet grill.
Okay.
And you'd have to cook it on a pan, but it's something you can do outside. So during the summer, it's really nice. You could also just do it in the oven, which is how we're going to do it here.
Okay.
But if I was at my house where I have a pellet grill, I would do it right on that.
So not a lot of seasoning on just a little bit of salt.
Just a little bit of salt, yeah. I mean, anything really more than that kind of can overpower the fish.
Okay.
So then we're going to take just a little bit of OJ here. A little bit of white wine. And then we're going to put a little bit of butter. And that butter is going to do two things. One, it's going to protect the fish during cooking. And two, it's going to meld with all the citrus acid that we just put in there and help create a sauce for it.
Next, fold the parchment paper over and make a series of small folds and creases along the outer edge. Then it's ready for the oven.
Wow. And the veggies are all done and everything?
Yep, and you can either take it right out or you can eat it right in the bag like you would kind of at a campfire.
And do you do any seasoning at this point, or you're good to go?
I don't. I salt it right beforehand, but you can hit it with the sauce, but the way we made it today, the sauce is all on the bottom now. Perfect. It's kept the fish really moist during the cooking process. So.
Awesome. And what do we call this dish?
Fish en papiat.
Or fish and paper.
Fish and paper.
Thanks for joining us this week for Michigan Out of Doors. Make sure you stay tuned in upcoming weeks. We'll be all across the state bringing you new stories as often as we can. If you'd like to see where we are and where we're headed next, you can always check us out online.
Well, that's right, Jenny. Online is always a great way to kind of keep tabs on us. You can do that through our website. We're also on most of the social media sites. And if you're ever on YouTube, you can subscribe to our channel there and get an email every time we post something new. Lots of good stuff coming over the next several weeks. And if we don't see you in the woods or on the water, hopefully we'll see you right back here next week on your PBS station.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by.
Do you dream of somewhere bigger than your backyard? You can get there with Greenstone.
Whether you want to hunt, fish, hike, or just watch the sunset, we're ready to help you own your place in the great outdoors. To learn more, visit greenstonefcs.com.
DTE believes to lead, we have to do what's right. So we're tripling renewables and cutting carbon emissions in half over the next 10 years. DTE.
By G5 Outdoors, makers of the Qwest and Prime bows, manufactured and designed in Memphis, Michigan. G5 offers a line of archery bows, broadheads, and accessories on the web at g5outdoors.com. Closed captioning provided by Marvo Mineral, makers of Lucky Buck, deer management products including minerals to supplement deer diets year-round to improve health and antler growth.
When I wander far away, a dream stays with me night and day. It's the road that leads to my home state. I am a Michigan man. Changing seasons paint the scene like rainbow trout in a hidden stream. The white-tailed deer in the tall pine trees. I am a Michigan man. I am a Michigan man. Ask where I'm from and I'll show you my hands. Lord above, I love this land. I am a Michigan man. From the Keweenaw down to St. Joe, Kalamazoo, east to Monroe, to St. Marie and back again. I am a Michigan man. I am a Michigan man. Ask where I'm from and I'll show you my hands. Lord above, I love this land. I am a Michigan man. Ah, Michigame, win when it's stung. I say I'm say when in wegam when manani I'm not maying Anishnabik Anishnabik. If I should die across the sea on a peninsula, you can bury me